What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the hottest news in Dallas sports, and today, we're diving deep into what may be the most exciting development in recent Cowboys history: Pickens and Amari Cooper joining forces to form what could be one of the most dangerous receiving duos in the NFL, and what it means for a potential Dallas Cowboys comeback. Now, before we get into the breakdown, I just want you to pause, breathe this in. This isn't just your average offseason hype. This is a legit transformation, a full-blown offensive resurrection in Dallas that has fans dreaming big. We're talking Super Bowl aspirations, elite-level chemistry, and a quarterback in Dak Prescott who's suddenly been handed not just weapons but artillery. Now, let's take it back to how this all started. For years, the Cowboys have danced around greatness. They've flirted with NFC dominance, only to be stopped short by inconsistencies, untimely injuries, and a lack of firepower when it truly mattered. But now, enter Pickens, the former Pittsburgh Steelers wideout who has been on highlight reels since his college days at Georgia. This dude is a walking, talking, skywalking highlight reel. He's known for his physicality, his insane catch radius, his aggressive after-the-catch style, and that alpha mentality. He plays with a chip on his shoulder like he's got something to prove every single down, and believe me, that mentality is exactly what Dallas has been missing. And the best part? He's just getting started. Still in his early 20s, Pickens is stepping into the prime of his career, and what better place to unleash that potential than with America's team? But if that wasn't enough, the real shocker, and I mean this in the best possible way, is the return of Amari Cooper. Yes, that Amari Cooper. The precise route technician. The seasoned vet who turned Dak Prescott into an MVP-level QB during their first run together. His departure to Cleveland left a void that no receiver has fully filled, not even with CeeDee Lamb's meteoric rise. But now, the Cowboys have brought back Co-op, and he's not coming back to play second fiddle. He's coming back to work, to win, and to finish what he started in Big D. With Cooper's crisp roots, sure hands, and deep understanding of the offensive playbook, he brings veteran poise to a group that already boasts elite talent. What this really means is the Cowboys have two legitimate number one receivers on the field at all times, two guys who can beat man coverage, sit in zone, shake defenders at the top of the route, and dominate one-on-one matchups. That's rare in the NFL. That's dangerous. That's the kind of formation that keeps defensive coordinators up at night. And let's not forget what this means for Dak Prescott. For all the flack Doc's taken over the last couple seasons, fair or not, he now has the best supporting cast of his career. Remember what happened the last time he had Cooper, Lamb, and a decent offensive line? He put up MVP-level numbers, led the league in yards, and had this team looking like a legitimate contender. But now, with a more mature version of himself, a more aggressive offensive system under a new-look coaching staff, and a receiving core that is arguably top 3 in the league, Doc has absolutely no excuses. And you know what? He doesn't need any, because reports out of training camp suggest he's locked in. He's sharper, quicker, reading defenses faster, and developing instant chemistry with Pickens while rekindling that mind-meld connection with Cooper. The zip is back in his throws. The confidence is there, the footwork is cleaner, and with these weapons, he's free to just let it rip. No more dink and dunk. No more predictable short yardage plays. This Cowboys offense is going vertical again. It's going aggressive. It's going dangerous. What's even more intriguing is how this receiving duo fits into the overall offensive philosophy. Pickens brings that edge, that physicality, that downfield threat who can go up and moss two defenders without blinking. He's your alpha, your go-ball monster, your highlight machine. He's the guy you throw to when everything else breaks down. Amari Cooper, on the other hand, is the surgeon. He's the guy who will break down a cornerback in slow motion, cut on a dime, and find a pocket of space 12 yards out for a crucial third down conversion. You need one guy to scare the defense? That's Pickens. You need one guy to outthink the defense? That's Cooper. Together, they create a strategic dilemma for opponents. Double Pickens? Cooper eats you alive underneath. Play tight on Cooper? Pickens is already 5 yards past your safety. This opens up the entire field not just for them, but for the rest of the offense. Let's talk CeeDee Lamb. Now I know the title says Pickens and Cooper, but make no mistake, this is a trio, and Lamb might still be the best all-around wide receiver on the team. But what's exciting is how his role can evolve. Instead of carrying the full load, CeeDee now gets to pick his spots, move around the formation, and absolutely dominate the slot or outside depending on the matchup. You can now run 3 WR sets with Lamb, Pickens, and Cooper, and I don't care which defense you throw at that, someone's going to be open. Add in a healthy Jake Ferguson at tight end and a competent running back like Rico Dowdle or whoever earns the RB1 spot this season, and you're looking at one of the most balanced, explosive offensive units in the league. And it's not just about the names. It's about the attitude. There's a new energy in this locker room. George Pickens brings that dog mentality, Amari Cooper brings professionalism and leadership, and CeeDee Lamb brings swag. Doc is the glue holding it all together, and the offensive line, while not perfect, is trending in the right direction. You've got Tyler Smith turning into a cornerstone. Zach Martin still doing Zach Martin things. Terrence Steele healthy again. If they stay upright, this offense can cook. They can go toe-to-toe with Philly. They can outpace San Francisco. They can keep up with Detroit's firepower. The league has been put on notice, and don't let the national media fool you. The Cowboys aren't just trying to stay relevant. They're building a monster. Quietly, methodically, lethally. Defensively, the Cowboys are still formidable. You've got Micah Parsons wreaking havoc, Trevon Diggs back from injury, and a unit that's still top tier in takeaways. That defense kept Dallas in games last season. But now, they finally have the offense to complement that intensity. When you can score in bunches and force opposing offenses to throw more than they want to, that's when the turnovers pile up. That's when games break wide open. And that's when Dallas becomes more than a playoff hopeful, they become a championship threat. But let's circle back to the chemistry. Because in football, talent alone doesn't win. It's about connection. It's about knowing where your guy is going to be before he breaks. It's about timing, rhythm, trust. That's where the Cooper return becomes even more valuable. He and Doc already have that connection. They've built that trust. And George Pickens, despite being new, has shown in camp that he's all about learning, working, and proving himself. He's already bonded with Doc in off-season workouts, late-night film sessions, even off-field chemistry building stuff like dinners and one-on-ones. You can't fake that, and when it shows up on Sundays, you'll see it. You'll feel it. Let's not ignore the psychological edge this gives the Cowboys too. For the past few years, every time Dallas has stepped into a big game, whether it was against San Francisco in the playoffs or Philly for the division, the national narrative has been, can Doc do it without weapons? Can the Cowboys' offense keep up? That question is gone. The weapons are here. They're loud, fast, and ruthless. And now it's up to the league to figure out how to stop them. Spoiler alert, they won't. So let's say this clearly, George Pickens and Amari Cooper might just be the final piece of the puzzle in Dallas. Not only are they going to redefine what this offense looks like, they're going to elevate every player around them. CeeDee Lamb is going to get better. Dak Prescott is going to play freer. The offensive line's job gets easier. Even the run game will benefit because safeties won't be able to stack the box anymore. You have to respect the deep threat. You have to back off. You have to account for Pickens going 60 yards downfield and Cooper breaking off a 15-yard out. It stretches the field. It forces teams into nickel and dime sets. And it gives Kellen Moore or whoever's calling plays the freedom to get creative again. This isn't just about X's and O's. It's about swagger. It's about making the Cowboys dangerous again. And if you're a fan, this is what you've been waiting for. That killer instinct, that confidence, that edge, and it's here, in George Pickens, in Amari Cooper, in a quarterback who's hungry, in a team that's sick of falling short. This is the moment, and the league better be ready. So if you're fired up like I am, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep Cowboys analysis, and let me know in the comments who do you think is going to lead this receiving group in touchdowns this year? Will Pickens emerge as WR1? Will Co-op re-establish himself as the go-to guy? Or will CD remind everyone who runs the show in Dallas? One thing's for sure, this season just got a whole lot more interesting. Cowboys Nation, this is our time. Let's ride.